Hi everyone, and welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my weekly show, The Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges, where I use my card reading skills and some appropriate decks to check out what's going on in your romance or relationship life, whether or not those are both the same or not. And I use the Final Rose Tarot. I'm going to do some general observations about the elemental signs, the air signs, the fire signs, the water signs, the earth signs. And then I'm going to also pull a card specifically with a word of the week for each sign. So let's get started. All right, so I used the Final Rose Tarot, which is a beautiful embossed deck. A lot of nice gold gilt on the card and the sides. And the Final Rose more or less coincides with a game show, bachelorette style. So I just want to throw that out there. So we'll start off with the elemental readings for the air signs. And for those air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, the first card relates to the emotional happiness that you will find this week. And it's the Two of Cups, or Two of Flutes in this deck. Flutes, of course, being champagne-style glasses. And this talks about maybe somebody really in the air signs vibrating much closer to a harmony and a trust and a respect that could be especially for somebody they are beloved with, but it could be in general too. It could be in general about other sorts of friendships or relationships. Now the next card then pertains to the emotional challenge or surprise that you might find this week. So it's kind of an interesting contrast because, of course, it is the Three of Swords, Three of Mirrors here. Is that right? Yes, Three of Mirrors. The red flags. And this really speaks to the idea maybe of somebody going through an extremely upsetting time. Maybe it's even talking about possibly separations. So it is dramatic. There seems to be a sense here of somebody really being hurt. If this is not you, air signs, it could be somebody you're very close to feeling this sense of being isolated or very hurt. So then finally, and I guess I should say this really pertains to you. So you may be feeling it about other people, but it is not specifically about other people. That would be this card, the final card, which speaks to what is of concern to the relationships in your life, whether they are primary, friendship, neighbors, co-workers, people from your church or temple. And I'm going to read this way. It's number 12, the Hanged Man reversed. It says to be continued in the way of the Final Rose Tarot. I'm going to suggest that this really talks about those around you really not being able to adapt to certain emotional changes. So I'm wondering if the pattern is that as we are trying to reconnect, recommit, maybe we're sensing that there's somewhere this is really not working, and someone else maybe has to deal with their own problems and figuring out how they can, move themselves back to that situation. Hopefully. You never know sometimes, right? All right, so now we are going to pull a specific card for each of those air signs, the Gemini, the Libra, and the Aquarius. And I use the Egipicios Kier Tarot. It's very Egyptian style, and it's unique in one aspect in that the cards are simply numbered from 1 to 78. So you do get the major arcana actually more or less, correctly as 1 to 22, but then 23 through 78 are not separated as suits with court cards. They're just numbered that way, and they each have a word on them. And there's a lot of other information that seems to be astrological based. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm going to go for the word of the week for you signs. So the word of the week for Gemini is justice. And that is from the major arcana number 8. So in all of this air signs, think about what is fair. Think about what you may have to do despite your personal feelings, but it is fair to do it. The right thing to do. Okay, so now Libra. And Libra has premonition. I'll put that one right there. So I think for Libras, maybe this is saying really try to sink into where you see this really going. This kind of situation that I'm seeing there emotionally for you guys. Maybe look to your inner wisdom and you will find that premonition that you need to understand this. Okay, so we need to put that one over there. So then Aquarians. Oh, Aquarians. Domesticity. Aquarians, I think you look at the whole situation and you say, this is why I don't go out. This is why I don't have friends. But no, seriously speaking, maybe this is saying really your angle to all this is to sort of amplify the more home aspects of the situation. Is this about a home? Is a home breaking apart and it's too hard for somebody to figure out what they need to do, what they need to give up or consider? So maybe there is time to combine some of these ideas here, actually, to be fair, to look for something that gives us really more information, the path, and to maybe stick close to what's going on in the home front. So that's what I had for the air signs. And now I'm going to move on to the fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What's going on in your emotional life? What will affect you or your loved ones? People you know from various walks of life. Your family, your parents, your children, maybe even cousins. So where do the fire signs find their emotional happiness this week? It's the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Rings. This is hard work. It says camera guy. Camera guy is maybe the one who has to figure out really what to see has to be done and maybe the best way to get it done. That's the Eight of Pentacles for you. So in ways of emotions, fire signs, I think this is saying you have to really have a clear view of what's going on, all the views you need to take into account in order to do the best work possible on getting them aligned and correct. So now our second card is, what will be your emotional surprise or challenge this week? And it's kind of interesting. There's another eight. It's the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Roses. Your challenge, I believe, will be having enough energy and enough clear direction to move quickly towards what your objectives are. And in terms of relationships, it could be indicating that there are situations that you need to attend to emotionally, rectifying certain things or closing the deal on other things. Maybe you are spending too much time previously on certain aspects of friendships or relationships, and now you have to move a little faster to get that cemented. So what that could mean is not being left out of certain parties or things going on, or making sure that you make that connection with a new person that you think you are possibly hoping to date. What will concern the others in your life, the friendships and relationships, whether they're primary or all the way to relatives, co-workers, neighborhood people? It's the reversed Eight of Swords. And it says, in your head, but it's reversed. I had to think about it for a minute because I wasn't sure what aspect it was really trying to reach to me. But I think with this one here, the Eight of Swords reversed, what is concerning others around you at this time? What is their primary situations? They're trying to re-engage maybe after a period of being out of it. Now, that sounds like me, really. But they're trying to find a way to get involved with you or with your friendships or your social circle or your family. It may be that they've been challenged themselves personally, that maybe some of the people around you have really been isolated in certain ways for various reasons. It could be, of course, the ongoing pandemic. It could be a lot of other things. It could be politics, religion, things like that tend to make us separated too. But maybe in this coming week, they are trying to make a reach out to you. Well, I suppose it's time then to take a look at those individual fire signs and see what their word of the week is. Cards are always wanting to go somewhere where I don't want them to go. The question is, do I let them? Is there a message in that? I think I've got them tamed now. Okay, so fire signs, word of the week, starting first with Gemini. Gemini gets the death card, immortality. It could be that in the way of your emotional resonance this week, that it's kind of similar to what that Eight of Swords reversed is, the idea of maybe re-engaging. So maybe this means something on a very personal level for Aries, that maybe as they are seeing the people around them want to do the same thing, try to come out of their isolation, you are looking at just rebirth in general, looking at starting new cycles, looking at coming alive again, especially in terms of some relationships. Okay, so then Leo, you have apprenticeship. Apprenticeship, card number 65. In terms of relationships, I think that Leos maybe are finding that they need to learn more, or they need to mentor more to others around them. This could be the passing of the wand thing, but it could be saying too that in order to understand certain people and how they approach their relationships, there may be something you can still learn about that, or something you can learn from someone else about that. And then finally, Sagittarius. And I don't know what it is, but Sagittarius, you're also getting domesticity. Sagittarians, you are probably wanting to just hold up right now and let it all happen around you, or let it come home to you. You know, there's things going on here that are saying people are changing their mind, getting more involved. Other people maybe are feeling, or yourself are feeling, you have to move quickly on things. But maybe just for you in general, Sagittarians, you're not so sure about that moving quickly thing. Maybe there's enough emotional stuff going on around you that you can really make that making the mark focus with you there. All right, so that's what I have for the fire signs this week. We will now move on to water signs. Water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. In the ways of emotions, you probably are the most predisposed to be emotional in certain respects. It's too much of a generality to ignore for water signs. Probably everybody has their favorite anecdote. About dealing with an emotional Pisces or Scorpio or Cancer. So let's see if that's really true this week. Water signs. What is it that brings emotional happiness or contentment this week? And it's the reversed Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands. I'll put you over there. I think that's good. When this card is reversed, it seems to say that from that point of view of emotional hardships or situations that just aren't feeling good right now, you're released from some of that burden. So it could be that we've decided to end a relationship. It could be that something within that relationship has changed, that maybe a dynamic has changed to the point where somehow there is a release of a burden here. One example of that could be maybe somebody in the relationship really needed to pull their own weight, not just necessarily with financial issues, but maybe around the home. You know, their chores to do to keep the home moving. Maybe they had a, come to home, come to Papa or Mama moment and decided they really need to help somebody else. Maybe that's you, water signs. So then what is the challenge this week? And my goodness, it's another 10. But this one is upright. It's the 10 of Cups. And I guess that's saying, you guys, you water signs, you're looking at the challenge of really making your home life, your family life, your closest life really emotionally rewarding and happy. It may be that you have to make certain commitments to that, but that's what we were talking about in the first card too, to release burdens by helping out more perhaps. So maybe the challenge really is being able to commit to that, being able to commit to working on what it is in your emotional family of relationships that will make it happy. And finally then for the water signs, what will be of concern to those around you, your friendships, your lovers, your spouses, your family? And it's the Three of Cups. And I think there's nothing hugely unimportant with family or people around you right now. I think people are looking for something that renews that sense of your connection, whether it's your connection personally or with a greater body of friends and family. The Three of Cups here is saying what concerns those around you is making sure everybody involved understands it's a family affair, if I wanted to quote a certain song. We are family. That's another song. So specifically for the water signs then, let's look at the word of the week that I can give them, whether you are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. There's a word of the week for each of you that may also give a little bit of understanding or clarity to this reading in general. So let's see what I can give you with that. All right. Cancer. Your word of the week is passion. Oh, Cancer. I think in all of this, you have to show the passion of what it really means to you. Not just saying you're going to move over to that person and slobber and hug them until they want to go to bed with you or whatever else it might be. This is just saying that earnest feeling of desire for whatever's going on emotionally in your life. You want to put your personal passion, your personal desire to making this resolve, this move in that forward direction. And then there's Scorpio. And Scorpio has the Magician, Major Arcana 1. Scorpio, you win the jackpot for the water signs, perhaps all the signs. You have all those tools, your willpower, your faith, your belief, your ability to really see what it is you want emotionally and go there for it. And you can be that person to lean on, that person to help others understand. You can be that person willing to make others feel they belong. It's all there for you, really. You know, and your family loves you for that. So then finally, the Pisces. Ooh, how mysterious, because it's almost like another Scorpio card. See that little Scorpio down there? It says the unforeseen, and I see Newt and Geb in pose of typicalness. The unforeseen. Well, I'm going to just have to say that for Pisces, you know, Pisces, sometimes you're a mystery to yourselves, let alone your friends. But this is saying, Pisces, maybe something unforeseen really is moving behind the scenes in your emotional approach to stuff. And I think it's fortuitous. I think it might be a little bit of energy from the Scorpio folks. Maybe you're picking up some of our mind here a little bit. But I think what this is saying is that the solutions or the way forward to work through these emotional situations is mostly going to come intuitively to you. It may not be something that you actually understand or see or can say, yeah, that's what I need to do, or this is what I'm going to do. It's really going to come to you like a flash of the unforeseen, like nature itself. How interesting. So now let's move on to our earth signs. I'm having a lot of fun today, so I hope you are too with this. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's see what's going on in the emotional currents for them. All right, earth signs. What makes you happy right now? What is your emotional happiness? You have the Lovers. You have wonderful choices in emotional matters. You're vibrating to whatever you feel is the best in terms of all things emotionally. Although oftentimes the card presents the idea of choices, I'm feeling that when it falls into this position, this is really saying the idea of being in a relationship or of having loving friendships and relationships around you is highly good this week. So then what are the challenges, if any? What do we see as a challenge? And it's the reversed Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Rings. It says the single mom, but that's not exactly the vibe I'm getting here. I think this vibe talks really more about the idea that what's challenging for you this week is being able to really express all the levels of love you feel, because maybe there's something very unconditional working in your time this week, that it's not so much about the relationship that may be indicated here, but the fact that really earth signs, and this is like the Queen of Pentacles, you are vibrating majorly to wanting to heal the world, to wanting to love the world. And it could be very personal for you. It may not be this, glowy, we are the world. It could really be about your world, earth signs, and how it is you challenge yourself to make sure everything is moving in the right direction, everything is being taken care of. So then what concerns others around you? And it's the reversed King of Wands. It is reversed, sorry. And the reversed King of Wands suggests to me that somebody in your environment, somebody you care for, maybe it's more than one person, they don't feel confident about how they stand either with you in relationships or in general or with people. They may be going through a situation where a lot of their confidence or their ability to be successful in the way that they want or see themselves is gone askew. And you may have to really be supportive of this person that's coming up. Hey, who doesn't feel unconfident right now? Everything is so messed up in the world of politics and religion and everything else. So let's find out what's really going on for the individual earth signs with a word of the week from my Egyptian-themed deck, the Egipicios Kier. Let's see what word of the week we will get for Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Taurus, proscription. Proscription to me, I'm going to say this card means Tauruses really feel they have to kind of take charge here a little bit, whether it's about where the emotional life is going, whether it's about what those challenges are, getting there, or whether it's about the people around you who are lacking confidence in their emotional matters. Tauruses are just going to kind of do what they always do, which is tell it like it is. They're the other side on the zodiac from Scorpio, and Scorpios are blunt, Tauruses are blunt too. Just going to say that. Tauruses, you feel empowered to do this. You're not going to hurt anybody. So then Virgo. Virgo's word of the week is impediment. Watch out for the things that may be setting you back in this earth sign tableau here, you know, trying to move closer to the idea of who or what you love and cementing that, but maybe also feeling that you have to also return to everyone around you. Yeah, it's kind of hard. And then there's, you know, this idea about, you know, people who really are leaning on you because they're emotionally inconfident of their own situations. Perhaps the impediment is really for Virgos that you can't be that empathic this week. I think Virgos can be pretty empathic, but sometimes they don't seem that way to people. But some of us get that. And maybe this is the week of saying for Virgos, you need to maybe kind of shield a little bit. Then finally, Capricorn. Capricorn, oh my goodness, you're getting another mystery card. You're getting the unexpected. Number 27. The unexpected. And once again, there's that little scorpion friend there. So there's Scorpio energy in these cards, as you can see with some of them. And then there's different energies with other cards. I just like that little Scorpio there. This has got the sun. But anyway, the idea of the unforeseen for Capricorn, I think it's just talking really about this whole matter and how really you're going to have to expect the unexpected, just like Pisces was in our last reading, that there may be things going on that will change the status quo in a way you don't exactly expect it. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with your friends who are looking for your shoulder to lean on in certain ways to boost their confidence. Maybe you weren't expecting that, and maybe you might find some unexpected way to deal with that situation. Good luck, Earth signs, and good luck to all the signs. Thanks for watching my show, The Emotional Exchanges. Don't forget tomorrow to watch the Happy Hour at 10 a.m. and then Banshees Material Manners Sunday at 10 a.m. We'll see you next time.